Well, good morning. How you doing today, Bobby?
Doing great. How you doing, Ed?
Well, can't complain because no one listens anymore.
You have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend.
Awesome, man. What'd you guys do?
I went to the cabin. I was out of town, went wine tasting on Saturday up in Murphy's, which is great because it's a good time to just walk around and enjoy what's going on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too hot that day, where sometimes this time of year it is super hot and it's not what you want to be doing.
Well, I was gonna say, were there any concerts up there this weekend?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a concert usually all the time up there at Ironstone.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's one this week up there.
So the wine tasting wasn't like right there in the little downtown strip?
Yeah, it was downtown strip.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. That's where you go in Murphy's downtown.
I've only been there a couple of times, but every time I've been there, man, it's been nothing but like bikes just lined up all the way down the street.
It wasn't that way this time. It was kind of like our market, kinder, gentler time up there. There wasn't a ton of people. And I think it's just because people thought it was going to be hot,
Yeah.
And it wasn't. So it's still, hot. So it's not like, it's not hot like the inflation. Inflation's down a little bit, but it's still there, even though people are saying that it's a theoretical thing is inflation. I've heard about that.
Those are people that are insulated from the inflation.
No, those are people who are politicians who want to sell a new, which I don't want to get all political, but sell this new Inflation Reduction Act, which, if I lie, I go to jail. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I have a interest rate reduction act, right? Or whatever.
I can say, because that's because the people that write the laws are also the ones that, can let themselves out of the laws.
Yeah, I guess so. But what I want to talk about today, and you do too, I'm sure, is how you want to protect yourself during this time. The U.S. they came out with what was the U.S. homeownership rate is growing, and I want to show a chart real quick, and then actually let's do this. So let's do the chart. What the heck?
Okay,
I'll make up my mind eventually. All right. So the last report showed it came in at, so 21 quarter, it was 6.5.4. This is the amount of people in the United States who own a home percentage wise. Fourth quarter 2021, then it went down in first quarter 2022, and now we're actually up again in quarter 2022. So that would just be the one that just got done here, that everybody talked about how bad it was out there.
Yeah.
So more people own a home, and one of the reasons you want to own a home right now is we were talking about inflation rates, right? In 1970s, when inflation was running around 10%, back then the home prices were rising at the same rate, right? But then they got even higher. So what happens is when you don't protect yourself, right, renters have a harder time because they don't have to control their payments, right? The payments go up continually. The same thing. That same thing with inflation. So rents go up higher, faster with inflation. The one thing that you don't with a house payment is, if you know what that is going to be going forward, and you don't have to worry about it, because a lot of people just don't realize that, they think that because in California where you don't have to worry about rents, they only go up a little bit. They're still going to go up every time. Well,
and I mean, you're coming in even right now at an entry level that is in my opinion, coming from the property management side. It's insane. It's insane what they're getting for one bedroom apartments these days, and obviously now here's something interesting. For anybody who does need to rent an apartment short term, and so you buy that house, a one bedroom is not really your best value. Your best value is going to be going for like a 3-bedroom if they have 3 bedrooms, because those are harder to get rid of.
How come?
Just because normally it's like a roommate situation, right? So say a pricing on say a 1-bedroom is going to be $1,250, right?
Mm-hmm.
$1,250 to $1,500, because most people think that's going to be my best value. But if a property has 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 2-bedroom, 2 baths, and 3 bedrooms, then the 3-bedroom is probably only going to be like a couple $100 more.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. So go get a 3-bedroom, even if you need 1 bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you have you have a home office, or you have the option to add a roommate later on if you need it.
A video game room.
There we go.
I'm just kidding.
With some bean bags and stuff.
Actually, it came out this week that more people are going back home to live with parents again. Yeah. 25% of the kids who moved out are going back home. And the question is, what age range? I would assume that's 29 and below, I would say.
Well, and what job field were they in, right?
Yeah, well, definitely fast food. I have no idea.
Well, I can say
Uber driver. I'm an Uber driver.
Because the tech industry laid off a bunch of people too,
Oh, tech, lending industry laid off a lot.
Mhm.
Everybody's been laying off, and that's what people don't realize. Last week in Rotary, some guy was up there talking, and he said how, he's a mortgage broker. Dude was maybe 19, 20. He's not a mortgage broker. I guarantee he's a loan officer working for somebody, and he calls himself a mortgage broker because that's the term everybody wants to have.
Yeah,
I
they
guess.
want to hear that word broker,
right? And so he's like, I'm just trying to get through this time. This is a really bad time. And it's like going, okay, but you came in at one of the easiest times out there. Rates were so low. You want a loan? Okay, here you go. You qualify? Yeah. Okay, let's get you in. Yeah. Now it's like, I tell people, it's like back then I talked to 10 people. I'd have 10 transactions. I talked to 10 people. Now I'm get about 2 transactions because either they're not ready or they don't qualify, or we got to put them in a plan to go forward. So, I mean, it's still a great time to buy, and I don't care what people say. It is. I mean, I came into this industry taking people from 13 to 9, and they loved me, and then I've seen high rates. I've seen this stuff. This is nothing. These are really good rates. These are 2018 and 2019 rates we're in right now, and people loved them back then.
Well, and like you said, a hedge against inflation. It's something that us in the industry have been telling people for years, right? Like, hey, this is the best way. But now that people are seeing inflation, in real time at the gas pump, at the grocery store.
Oh, huge at the grocery store, man. Go buy a steak.
Trust me, I did, man. I got it's like stew meat. It was like 2.5 pounds of stew meat. It was like $17, man. I mean,
it must have been some really good. Well, with your family, that's still a good price.
Yeah.
When you have that many people, divide that by that many people, that was only like $2 a meal.
Hey, yeah, well, that's why we do it, right? But yeah, so I actually just recently sent out a mailer to some of my old residents, right? Just saying like, hey, look, inflation's the big topic, right? Everyone's seeing it on the news. This is really the best way to protect yourself, and if for anybody who's had a mortgage, they already understand this. So this for the first time home buyer, but I bought my house 10 years ago, and the only thing that's ever changed is when they adjust for like taxes. Yeah.
No, actually, really, insurance really is more than anything, because taxes, you can only go up 3% a year, and we didn't go up much for many times, but the last 3 years it went up.
Like I said, but the most my payment has ever changed is $40 in the last 10 years. So,
but that's not what I mean. If it could go up 5% a year, that would gone up a lot more. So inflation's a really good reason to protect yourself. Secure your payment at a fixed rate. You don't have to worry about going forward. But the other reason to buy is, this is, well, for you, NAR, right, came out with, and they said that a homeowner roughly has $300,000 in net worth more than a renter who has 8,000. So that's, I guess that'd be $292,000 more in net worth than a renter does.
Yeah.
And I mean, I even have a chart. Ooh, let me show the chart. Here we go. So, I mean, that's why you buy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
long term. Right?
Normally the success story of every family that was coming up is that first person that bought a home. That's what set up the next generation, right? And obviously, as we're starting families and raising them, we don't want to leave them worse off than we were, right?
No, we don't.
So hopefully our kids, do something good with the money that we leave them, and they buy a couple houses,
or you just get the houses for them, and here's your house.
Yeah.
I tell people, if you want your kids to own a home, you better buy it now and rent it. And then down the road, when you're ready to give it to them, then you clean it up, and here's your house.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because if you don't, you think it's bad now. Average. I mean, dude, I can't believe what the value of my house is. Right? It's like 3 times what I bought it for. Long time ago. But anyway, we'll just say, I'm just saying it went up high before and went down and went high again. Mm-hmm. We're not going to see that. We don't have any bad loans. We don't have any. Everybody has equity, right? A third of the people out there don't have a loan, and then the rest of them, what they say, about 52% of that doesn't have, or they have a mortgage, but they have equity in it, right? Up to 50% of equity.
So a third of homeowners already paid it off, huh?
Yeah, they don't have a loan at all. Wow. Or they bought cash or whatever. They just don't have a loan.
That's way higher than I would have thought.
No, that's how it is.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah, well, that's how. So when people are looking at, well, we're going to lose all these homes. No, when we have, 2, so you have a third that don't have a mortgage, a third that has a mortgage with so much equity, and then you have the other third that has, that don't have as much equity, but they have equity. And so it's not, we're not going to have a bubble. We're not building enough homes still. And then now the builder sediment came out, I can't even talk the word. All right. The builder number came out this week that said that it's lower, and it keeps getting lower, meaning that builders think it's a bad time to build. Well, they got all these problems, supply chain, all these other issues, can't get that. So they're thinking about slowing down their building, which is just going to make this worse.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Buy a home. That's the best thing you can do for yourself and your family.
Yeah. And
keep buying more if they're available, of course.
Of course. Yes.
All right, Bobby. Anything else you want to put on there before we go? Because I just reiterate, we talked about inflation. The best way to hedge right now is to fix that payment, because your payment will stay the same. As a renter, it doesn't. It will continue to go up, even with the rent control in California. Then it has to go up 0.5% every year, right? At least?
No, 5%.
5%. What did I say? 0.5%? Okay,
yeah.
5%. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 5%. There we got
it. And just a caveat to that, count on your rent going up more than 5%, because I've already seen where, there used to be some utilities that were covered by the property owner. Right. Now they're passing those on to the tenants too. So really, it's a sneaky way of doing anywhere from 7 to 10%.
It's not a sneaky way. It's just getting you to pay your own utilities.
Yeah. Well, it used to be something that was a bonus of
but with the cost. So with inflation right now, fuel costs, utility costs, food costs, those are all that's going up. So that's why that they can no longer pay for those for you, because all those utilities are expensive now.
Well, yeah. City Modesto keeps raising the water rate, so
because it's very good water, that's why it gets more expensive. Think about whoever came with the idea. Hey, let's put water in a bottle and sell it to somebody.
Yeah.
You think we can? Oh God, they buy everything out there.
Yeah.
And now look at it. How many bottles of water get sold? So the most important thing is, when you own a home, you have 40 times more net worth than a renter does.
Yeah.
That's huge right there. Why else would you do it? Two things: fix your payment and make a lot of equity. So get out there and buy your home. Reach out to us. If you have any questions, you can always message me through Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. I'm Ed Parcaut everywhere. Bobby, how do people get in touch with you? My phone number, 209-55.
You can give me a call, a text, message me through Facebook. You can also go to my website, which is Robert Atkins Realtor. And you can message me directly from there.
All right. Everybody, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you back on Thursday.